Hello, everyone. It's another First Chapter Friday edition. So I'm excited. This week I chose a fantasy book because I don't really love fantasy, but I love this book, which is The Girl Who Drank the Moon. And one thing that I love about this book is I love the characters. I think they're really, really clever. And at the end of the book, it's mind blowing what happens with the plot. So I really like it for that. I am going to read the back of the book and then I'll play an excerpt. It's pretty good. I think it's really fun. And then we'll go from there. So every year, the people of the Protectorate leave a baby as an offering to the witch who lives in the forest. They hope this sacrifice will keep her from terrorizing their town. But the witch in the forest, Zan, is kind. She shares her home with a wise swamp monster and a perfectly tiny dragon. Zan rescues the children and delivers them to welcoming families on the other side of the forest, nourishing the babies with starlight on their journey. One year, Zan accidentally feeds a baby moonlight instead of starlight, filling the ordinary child with extraordinary magic. Zan decides she must raise this girl, whom she calls Luna. See what she did there? Luna, moon. Anyway, as her own. As Luna's 13th birthday approaches, her magic begins to emerge with dangerous consequences. Meanwhile, a young man from the Protectorate is determined to free his people by killing the witch. Deadly birds with uncertain intentions flock nearby. A volcano, quiet for centuries, rumbles just beneath the Earth's surface. And the woman with the tiger heart is on the prowl. So I really, really love this book. There is a message of hope in it that I also love, but you have to read to the end to understand that. So here is the audio of the first 5 minutes, if I can get it to work.
Recorded Books and One Click Digital present The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. Narrated by Christina Moore. Chapter 1, in which a story is told. Yes, there is a witch in the woods. There has always been a witch. Will you stop your fidgeting for once? My stars, I have never seen such a fidgety child. No, sweetheart, I have not seen her. No one has. Not for ages. We've taken steps so that we will never see her. Terrible steps. Don't make me say it. You already know anyway. Oh, I don't know, darling. No one knows why she wants children. We don't know why she insists that it must always be the very youngest among us. It's not as though we could just ask her. She hasn't been seen. We make sure that she will not be seen. Of course she exists. What a question. Look at the woods. So dangerous. Poisonous smoke and sinkholes and boiling geysers and terrible dangers every which way. Do you think it is so by accident? Rubbish. It was the witch. And if we don't do as she says, what will become of us? You really need me to explain it? I'd rather not. Oh, hush, now don't cry. It's not as though the Council of Elders is coming for you now, is it? You're far too old. From our family? Yes, dearest. Ever so long ago. Before you were born. He was a beautiful boy. Now finish your supper and see to your chores. We'll all be up early tomorrow. The day of sacrifice waits for no one. And we must all be present to thank the child who will save us for one more year. Your brother? How could I fight for him? If I had, the witch would have killed us all, and then where would we be? Sacrifice one or sacrifice all. That is the way of the world. We couldn't change it if we tried. Enough questions. Off with you. Fool child. Chapter 2, in which an unfortunate woman goes quite mad. Grand Elder Gerland took his time that morning. The day of sacrifice only came once a year, after all, and he liked to look his best during the sober procession to the cursed house and during the somber retreat. He encouraged the other elders to do the same. It was important to give the populace a show. He carefully dabbed rouge on his sagging cheeks and lined his eyes with thick streaks of coal. He checked his teeth in the mirror, ensuring they were free of debris or goop. He loved that mirror. It was the only one in the Protectorate. Nothing gave Gerland more pleasure than the possession of a thing that was unique unto him. He liked being special. The Grand Elder had ever so many possessions that were unique in the Protectorate. It was one of the perks of the job. The Protectorate, called the Cattail Kingdom by some and the City of Sorrows by others, was sandwiched between a treacherous forest on one side and an enormous bog on the other. Most people in the Protectorate drew their livelihoods from the bog. There was a future in bog walking, mothers told their children. Not much of a future, you understand, but it was better than nothing. The bog was full of xerin shoots in the spring, and xerin flowers in the summer, and xerin bulbs in the fall. In addition to a wide array of medicinal and borderline magical plants that could be harvested, prepared, treated, and sold to the traders from the other side of the forest, who in turn transported the fruits of the bog to the free cities far away. The forest itself was terribly dangerous and navigable only by the road. And the elders owned the road. Which is to say that Grand Elder Gerland owned the road, and the other elders had their cut. The elders owned the bog, too, and the orchards, and the houses, and the market squares, even the garden plots. This was why the families of the Protectorate made their shoes out of reeds. This was why, in lean times, they fed their children the thick, rich broth of the bog, hoping that the bog would make them strong.
Okay, there you have it. That was more than the first chapter of The Girl Who Drank the Moon. It was about a chapter and a half. So hopefully, if you are interested in reading that, the library here has several copies. So, alrighty, this is the end of edition 3 of First Chapter Fridays. Have a fantastic week.